Oh, wait. Oh, wait, baby. Oh, wait. I got to get this out. So, I be, man, I just be, and I be excited, but I gotta get this out, man, because it's a serious situation. It's a serious conversation. It's some seriousness happening right now. It's your boy Big Nate with the Real Underground Radio Station, baby. It's Nate Logic, baby. Let me get it out of my system because I can't be playing with the, I can't be playing, man. I gotta take this serious. Oh, I gotta get it. I got it. Oh, you know me, man.
Yeah.
All right, it's out. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
This is your boy Nathaniel Beaton. Oh, which one? Oh, this is your boy Nate Logic, man. I'm sitting up here with my sister, man. My sister in the family, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hey, man. First of all, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I sincerely mean thank you. And I'm sure that when I say thank you, it's just not Nate. I'm saying it on behalf of the Real Underground, A-Team, anyone connected to me, anyone connected to this community. We owe you a level of gratitude and reverence for the sacrifices that you have made for the betterment of our community. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Everybody give Dawn a hand. Sister Dawn Jeffrey, who I likingly call the Warrior Princess. I was calling you that before all this even went down, though. Before the movie. Yeah. Before Viola and them.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I know I was calling you that. Remember, if you go back and look at the old interview, I said I call her the Warrior Princess.
Yeah, you did. I watched it.
Was it a good movie? I ain't watched it.
It was good. It was good.
What?
Woman King?
Yeah. Once they told me, you didn't watch it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Once they told me what she was, what it was about, I was like, I can wait. They gonna figure out a way to make some money off our pain, don't they? Yeah. They gonna figure out a way to get some money off our hurt.
All the time.
They have exploited that. Man, look, how many times can you make some money off that?
Every time.
Forever.
Ever, man. That's the.
Every time.
I bet you. Do you see that many Holocaust movies?
I've seen a few, not as many.
We're gonna get one or two a good year.
Yeah.
The Holocaust ain't had no. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
I ain't seen it. I can't speak.
I'm gonna just say, man,
Somebody gonna post this up.
That's gonna take that out of context and misrepresent how we feel and what we're thinking. Right. They're already looking for ways to defame us, to tell others that we don't care about others. Right. When that is true, we just care about us. And that's the unfortunate part in this whole situation. We get chastised, criticized, abused, locked up, broken, belittled, disrespected for caring about us.
Right.
Ain't that weird?
Right. Weird.
How do they do that? Like, I'm wrong if I say I care about black people. If I'm asking for more for black people, I'm wrong.
Right. But you're not wrong.
Hey.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. We know it.
Yeah.
You are not wrong. Osiris, you are not wrong.
You're not wrong, oh the God.
Already.
Ashley, guess what? You're not wrong.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
If you stand up for your people,
Yeah.
if you believe that your children, that you yourself should be afforded every right
Yep.
that any other human, that any other red blood American has, then you are not wrong. But so many people tell us we are. I don't know. They even want to lock us up when we say, no, you not finna stand on my neck and tell me something wrong with that. Or try to tell me that I'll use it on the fentanyl. No, you not finna stand on my neck. Kneel on my neck. No, dog, that dog ain't gonna hunt. And then try to tell me I'm wrong when I tell you to get off my neck, I can't breathe. No, get off my neck. No, I tell you what, stay on it. And we're gonna, I tell people all the time, there's consequences and repercussions for everything.
Yeah, you right about that.
You ain't finna keep standing on my neck. And that's what happens. Don, welcome home, man. I don't want to stand.
Appreciate you.
Don, welcome home. Hey, girl, come on in here. You happy to be home, baby?
I'm happy to be home. I'm happy to be here.
You happy to be here?
Happy to be here.
Did you, when you came home, what was one of the first things you wanted to do? Hug the babies?
Hug the babies. I hugged the babies, and I wanted some real food. I hadn't had real food in 18 months, so I wanted some real food.
So you've been fighting through this for 18 months?
Yep.
What was some of the real food you wanted to get when you came home?
It's a list.
You had it? Hold on, you was already working on this list?
I had a list. I wanted my aunt's macaroni and cheese. I wanted some sushi. I wanted a burger.
From where? We got to confirm this. Where you wanted this burger from now?
Oh, man.
You ain't finna tell me you wanted a Burger King burger if you ain't.
No.
You got to say you wanted a Mama B's burger or something.
No, I want to go to J. Paul's. J. Paul's got good burgers.
Oh, yeah.
J. Paul's? Got good
weekend.
burger? Shout out J. Paul's.
Now they call Yay Paul's Bodega and Soul Cafe now.
Oh, they
Yay
are?
Paul's Bodega and Cafe.
Yeah, I swear.
Where is it?
I need a
Same
promotion
place.
for that little plug.
They gonna need some.
I need a free burger for that plug.
Hey, y'all better run down that burger. Y'all better run down that burger. Hey, man, what's wrong with these folks? So you wanted a burger?
Some seafood.
Seafood, okay. What's your favorite seafood?
I like crab legs. I like mud bugs.
Mud bugs.
Yeah, crawfish.
Yeah, suck the. What is it? What is it? Tickle the tail and suck the head or something? Pinch the tail and suck the head.
I know, suck the tail. You pinch the back and suck the tail.
Ugh. I don't want to eat nothing that take out. Can I just eat the whole thing?
You can, but I've never done it.
No.
I've never done it.
I'm sorry, Don. I know, man. I know we got to get a little serious here in a second, so I just got to get it out of my system.
That's good.
Man, Don, you've been gone for 18 months. They tried to hold you down for 18 whole months, but they didn't.
Right.
And you home, and before you went away, or before you took your extended vacation for too long, and when I say extended, I'm not trying to be funny or whatever. Government-sponsored vacation, right. Yeah. I want to commend your sister.
Yeah.
You know, so Ashley, let's give you your flowers now.
Well, thank you.
Ashley, how was it having to do that?
It was rough. One, because my sister is the one that's really just out social in the community, which I'm behind her in everything that she does, but I'm never the one just to be like, okay, we got to get this money. So it kind of threw me off, but at the same time, she deserves everything, and she deserved the proper legal support. So the community raised over $14,000 for her. Little Rock Freedom Fund, I honestly don't even know how much y'all gave us in support of Brittany. Or Dawn, I'm sorry, girl.
It's okay, sis.
But yeah, so it was just a vision to say, okay, let's get the proper legal support that she needs to be able to bring her home and not end up doing 5+ years in jail.
Initially, like 30.
30 years.
Minimum
Yeah.
of 30 years.
They were trying to give you 30 years.
Initially 30, a minimum of 30 years, because
Yeah.
each count that I was initially charged with had like a mandatory minimum of 5 years, and I was initially charged with 5 counts.
Can I ask what 5 counts of?
Well, I can't remember the exact counts, but they had to do with maliciously destroying a police vehicle, making a Molotov cocktail, possessing a Molotov cocktail, well, a destructive device, and yeah, so those were about 3 that I can name off the top, but there were 5 initially, and in the end, I didn't wind up having any of those charges at all. So they use that, and I like to tell people this because this is real spill. Like they'll trump up all your charges because I think they knew that I didn't have anything to do with certain things. And that's what I was saying initially. Like when I said it was bullshit, it was bullshit because the charges were bullshit that they put up against me. They'll use that to make you try to plead to something else because it's so many years. Like they say 30 years. I'm like, 30? I'm thinking about how old my child will be. I'm thinking about how old I'll be. And so they use that as a bargaining tool, even though they know those aren't the right charges. And all my charges should have actually been handled on a state level. But they trumped them up to federal charges, and that happened to not only me, but people across America as well.
So they were basically looking to throw everybody under the bus. Not like you said, not only you, but across America doing these. Wow.
Doing the same thing. It's the same thing as people all across the United States right now. People going to jail for, you'll see sometimes 5 or 6 months. Sometimes you'll see 5 years. I just read where a rapper got sentenced to like 6 months because he was on an SUV that was burnt up at a protest or something like that. Yeah. So they used everything they could to try to put as many people in jail and as many people under their thumb as possible.
Do you think that a lot of this stuff, and just hear me out, they're using the January 6th, the insurrection, the real crime, the insurrection, was saying, well, you didn't charge the black people for the George Floyd stuff, but you're charging all of us. Do you think there was some of that involved in this?
I think it went both ways. I think a lot of people were looking at both the situations and kind of saying, well, if you're not going to charge them, you can't charge us. If you're not going to charge us, you can't charge them. So I think it was a lot of that going on, and a lot of judges kind of looking at what was going to be done to one group of people versus the other group of people. And I think that's kind of where my judge weighed in. He looked at different cases across America, looked at me as a person, and then just really tried to evaluate how he was going to sentence me.
Let me say this too. You know, there's a big difference in what happened in the summer of resistance in 2020 and that January 6th.
Huge difference.
Because, you know, we talk about elected officials being in cahoots with things going on and sharing information like they wanted it to go down as well, and basically none of them have been charged with anything. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about elected officials, these politicians allowing and knowing that was happening, going on, and encouraging it, and trying to, you know, hide all of the things that they done afterwards, there's no comparison to what our protests were about and what these legislators got in cahoots to do with a bunch of people over an election.
Right, I agree with that, and it's an entitled idea based on entitled. So basically, Trump was just entitled. He felt like, how dare you not give me what I rightfully deserve?
Right.
When we wasn't entitled, we was just saying we want to live. How dare you not give us what we deserve just by living? We gonna stand up, and we did, and you led that charge. How does that make you, looking back on this, Don, even with the 18 months or the time and all that, how do you feel?
I feel like at that time, and I mean, still people should be upset, but I feel like a lot of people were upset. I feel like I was upset, like you said about the foot on your neck. I feel like I was just cut off. Like I couldn't breathe anymore. I was just overwhelmed with everything that was happening. Watching it on TV, it's like murder after murder, and it's like it was almost intentional, them showing us all these people getting killed and be like, well, what are you gonna do about it? And I feel like it just everything just came to a head that summer. I feel like people were dealing with a lot of trauma, a lot of things were happening. We were basically being attacked when we were peacefully protesting. So it was just a lot. It was a lot. Everything was going on.
I agree. It was so much, and then also COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were smack dab in the middle of COVID, and so and then people couldn't come outside. The restrictions behind COVID,
Yeah.
whether you agree with it or not,
We ain't never seen nothing like that.
Yeah.
nothing. So you add that on top of now we in the house festering and thinking about all the things that continuously happen to us.
Yeah.
We worried about our babies, worried about our brothers, our sisters, and COVID too. It was a stressful summer.
Yeah.
Man, but we made it. And we made it thanks to the people like yourself, Don, who took the reins of the community, said, no, we're not sitting on the sidelines. We fighting for our life. We fighting for our kids. So again, I salute you for that, Don. I salute you, man. I can't salute you enough for that. So after you got the first charges or whatever, how was it trying to operate and still move forward with the thing, with the movement while fighting the charges? How was that?
I think it was hard because I realized, like, while being incarcerated, like, it wasn't, I couldn't do everything I needed to do, everything that needed to be done. That's why I thank people like Osiris, my sister, and other people that were really doing the work, trying to help me, because I was still trying to bail people out.
Yeah.
I was still trying to bail people out while I was in jail. So it took
she
Osiris.
not tried. She was bailing
Okay.
people out. While she
I,
was in
I
jail.
did. We did. I say we did because I was calling Osiris like, hey, what are you doing? Can you come pick this person up? Can we get them out of jail? Can you come drop the money off? So we were doing that. And I think while I was in Pulaski especially, I was advocating for better conditions, trying to get women to speak up about the conditions from which they're placed and held under, because even with while you're incarcerated, a lot of people there aren't even found guilty on their charges. So you have people that are dealing with things, and then they could go to their court date and be released and be like, oh, well, we made a mistake. But these people are waiting 2 months even to hear from a court date, and they can't bond out. Either they don't have the money or they don't have a cosigner. So I did what I could do in my capacity from where I was at. I tried not to be overcome by my situation. I still tried to be who I was while I was incarcerated.
And again, that here it goes, something you said that reminds me of why we call you that warrior princess. You are still advocating for the people that in the same situations as you. So what? How? How?
It gives me it kept me going. Like things like that'll keep me going. Like whenever I was doing the work, I wasn't so focused on being down or being depressed about my situation. It would help me remember who I am and what my purpose was and what I was supposed to be doing and why they put me here.
So you feel like this is your life's purpose?
I feel like it is. I feel like this is. I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. My life's work is going to be to help the people. Always help the people. Always. I can't turn away from it. I've tried. It gets hard. I'll be like, I'll just up in one day, I'm going to stop doing this. And then I'll just be like, I'll see something, I'll be like, Don't do it, Don. Don't do it. And then I'll be like, you're doing it. You're doing it. So
You ready for that, Ashley?
Ready for what? Well, her purpose isn't my purpose.
100%.
But I do help the people, but
Hold on.
she has a different capacity. And then she
100%.
works at a different capacity.
So when I say you're ready for that,
as far as her doing it,
because when I say that, let me say this,
I
and
get
I'll
what
use
you're
me and my
saying
little
now.
brother as an example. So we do a lot of barbecuing and feeding the homeless and stuff, whatever. I'm known for running my mouth. Like, I'm the mouthpiece. But I call him the muscle. Like, if it's some heavy lifting that needs to happen, I can call him. So when I ask you, are you ready for that? Because that's your sister, and you already put on them shoes when she couldn't. So when the heavy lifting come, you got.
Yeah, I'm
You ready for
a
that?
heavy lift. I'm not a foreground person.
But you.
And that's what I tell them. I'll do whatever background work needs to be done. I'm really not trying to be on the stage, but when it comes to the things that Dawn is trying to do, Osiris is trying to do, Little Rock Freedom Fund is trying to do, whatever they tell me, I'm going to do my best to get it done. Whether I need to make some T-shirts and sell them on my website and send them the funds, I'm going to do that because I really believe in the mission of, one, helping the community, but I strongly believe in the mission of Little Rock Freedom Fund.
Right, I agree, and I think what I mean, maybe what I mean by that, and try to make it a little plainer, is you make T-shirts, right?
Well, I design T-shirts.
You design T-shirts, okay?
Not, I just did that
Right.
because that's what needed to
Well,
be done.
yeah, good.
Well, let's go back to
But
it. Before the show started, I was talking about fixing plates, right?
Right.
So she might be the potato bowl putterer.
If I gotta be the potato bowl putter while she doing something else, I'ma do that.
You game. That's all. Because I know I can count on Osiris to put some bread on the plate.
Look,
gonna
I'll
bring the
put a
bread.
little bit of bread on the plate if I got to.
Because here's the thing, man. It's a team sport.
Yeah.
Fighting for black people's freedom, being an advocate for our community, it's a team sport. And until we learn how to play it from a team sport, we're going to be fighting from behind.
Yeah.
This isn't, let Osiris go over there and say to black people, I go worry about myself.
Right.
And so often, am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong here.
You're not
No,
wrong.
you're not
So
wrong.
often what happens in our communities, we're not fighting this fight together.
Right.
And then we have someone like Warrior Princess Dawn who comes around and she's making the sacrifice while a lot of us going home.
But see, okay, so I gotta say something about that.
Say something.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody should have been behind Dom when she got locked up.
100%.
In the black community, everybody should have been there. But there's certain reasons why certain black people weren't behind her or didn't want to support her. Everybody, some people got their own agenda. Some people scared of people thinking with a radical imagination and doing things in a different way or not politically correct. Some people, haters.
Ain't no other way to put it.
Ain't no other way to put it. I tell people all the time, man, haters don't take no sick days. They gonna get up and hate when they feeling their worst. They gonna get up and hate when they feeling their best. The goal is to keep on hating on you. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you got going. So they gonna be in the way. They gonna be an adversary. So everybody should have been about supporting Dawn when this situation happened because Dawn didn't do nothing but support the community in every effort that she put together. When we worked together side by side, what event did we charge people to get into? Who didn't we donate to when they asked us to? You know what I'm saying? Everything that was put together from a protest level to Know Your Rights workshops to neighborhood cleanups to feeding the homeless to backpack drives for the school for the children, school supplies, every speaking engagement, all that type of stuff. It was just giving. Little Rock Freedom Fund bailed out people, got people legal representation. Who did we ask? Give us that back. Nobody. So for the people that wasn't there in support, I have, you got to look at it like what was your true agenda? What was your motives? Who sent you? You know what I'm saying? Because just because you didn't like the way Dawn said something to you, you knew her heart was in the right place.
So let me ask you a question, Don. When those situations and those type of people come around, or when you would notice that, how did that make you feel?
I don't know. I felt my true emotion was I felt hurt, which I don't express often, which people think I'm just emotionless, I'm just hardcore, but I truly was hurt because I'm like Osiris said, I might not come across all the time as politically correct, or I'm not just sweet as pie, but my heart is always in the right place. At the bottom line, I'm doing what I feel is best, or what I feel needs to be done to help the community, to build up our people, to uplift, to empower, to liberate and educate our people. And so when you get people like that, or people thought, I know a lot of times I heard, well, you just want to be the gatekeeper. I actually never wanted to be the gatekeeper. I don't. And a lot of people felt that way. And that was some of their reasons for not supporting. Just basically, I was hurt because, like I said, I feel like we should all be standing together. And I don't know if it was a problem with that I'm a woman and doing this. And because I never deemed myself a leader. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it was just.
You just
I
fell
don't
in
know
your
what it
purpose.
was. I failed in my purpose.
That's heavy. I can tell when we say the word purpose, that kind of feels some type of way. Am I right?
You're right.
This is your purpose, Don. And our responsibility is to help you increase that capacity. I can speak from my perspective because I know when you were doing, I remember almost exactly. I think one of the things you did was y'all was at somebody's house. And y'all was like, y'all protesting at somebody's house or something.
Probably the mayor's house.
Yeah, I don't know who it was.
Lance Hines. We went to.
And y'all was
we went to all the
going
houses.
in. I'm like, yo, what sense do that make?
Make perfect sense to me.
And when I seen it, I like, man, that shit's stupid. I think I even made a post about it, probably, most likely. And I think at one point we were Facebook friends.
Yeah. I think we're Facebook friends again.
I know I'm an agitator. I'm an agitator on purpose.
Okay.
And
I'm glad you said that.
hold on, Nate Logic isn't an agitator on purpose. Don't be trying to.
No, because I got points for you. Go ahead.
Right. I said to you about that. That shit's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And my point then is this, and I tell people this all the time. We have to look at change and everybody else's capacity to change. Everybody can't put the potatoes in the bowl.
Yeah.
We want a plate, right? You want a full plate, right?
Everybody wants a plate.
Everybody want a plate. But your responsibility is to put the potatoes in the bowl. His responsibility is put the bread on the plate. So I felt like then you're chastising, going off on Frank or whoever, when Frank and them can't do nothing, and they only doing their part. Then, in my ignorance.
Yeah.
In my ignorance, when no, we all should have been out there. Frank, get these folks, man. We all should knocking on. What gave you the courage to do that, Don? Because it had to be something that say, no, we finna go holler at Frank, and he gonna do right.
Yeah. It's just in me. I've always been that person, like, if something needs to be said, I'm gonna say it. And I feel like at that time, I felt like Frank could have been doing more. I feel like I see so much, and I say this now, I see so much potential for him. I see so much potential in him. I want him to do great things. It's like, and I've never told him this. So if somebody wants to share it with him, you can. You know, I see potential in him. I see him doing great things. I want him to do great things. I want him to succeed. So at that time, I'm just like, okay, let me give you a little push. You could say, well, it's because Dawn and them came out. They keep coming to my house. And by the way, people didn't see. We went to all the city directors' house.
Exactly.
The from all the white people, we went to their houses too. So it wasn't just a Frank thing. I think people saw that and was just like, why are you going after Frank? I was never going after Frank. So yeah, you just have to, it's just in me. It's something that needs to be done. When it's something that needs to be done, you just make the decision to do it. I know it got to be done.
That's that dog in you. That's that dog in you,
I
man.
think so, yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So another big thing that you done that you done. Don.
Dawn's
Don.
done.
Don.
Dawn's
Jonathan did.
Don did it. Oh, another thing that you did that I originally, until we had our conversation with Ashley, she outside these goddamn folk good stuff for her. You up here annoying these good folks at Wally World. Let these folk get their stuff and go and get their bit. What you leave them folks alone? Well, you had already unfriended me by then, but anyway. What did we call that? What did we call that?
The cookout.
Yeah, it was called the cookout. It was a shutdown.
Why did you call it the cookout?
Because we wanted people to come hang out. When you think of a cookout, you think of everybody coming to hang out for a common purpose, which is usually food. And after we did have a cookout.
Yeah.
We had a cookout.
Give us some back. Because I think I may have skipped over some detail. What was this cookout?
So the cookout, we would come together and we would rally up and go shut down some Walmarts. And so Walmart makes billions. So, I mean, we did what we could. I think we did a good job for someone to make so much on a daily basis. We shut down how many? About
It was 5.
four or five from
But-
Jacksonville to Little
I
Rock.
think it was 5.
Yeah.
But at the time, like the purpose behind it.
Well, the purpose behind it, we wanted to raise awareness to what was going on, and when I do direct actions, it's like stopping your everyday routine and saying disrupting business as usual, because a lot of people don't pay attention. A lot of people saw what was happening on TV, but they was just like, oh, it's not happening to me. Let's just click the channel. Let's change the channel. So a lot of people, we came in contact, when you think about how many people shop at Walmart today, we came into a contact with a lot of people and were able to engage with them. And they say, well, why are you out here? We tell them why we're out here. I had one lady, I know she was pissed. She was like, I can't get my medicine today. And we just told her why we were out there. And she wound up saying, okay, well, I can come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you can come back tomorrow. So, yeah, some people did join us. But
I have a good friend who was in the store at the time.
I read that.
Oh, he told you. Yeah. And he says he was in the store at the time. And if he would have known what y'all were doing, he said, I would have joined them. He said, but because they done what they done, I didn't go to Walmart again for 6 months.
Yeah, same.
So it worked.
And you know what I'm saying? You got to think about this. Walmart is the biggest corporation in Arkansas. It's one of the biggest corporations internationally. They have so much money invested in our politics in this state.
Yeah.
on the level of criminal justice, education, racial equity, civil rights, environment. They got their hands in that. So why not go shut down the biggest corporation who always has money invested in these legislators that are lobbying for laws that sometimes, a lot of times, we don't agree with.
Yeah.
Biggest corporation in the world, you know what I'm saying? And think about all the stuff we talk about for workers' rights, minimum wage, health care, better quality of living, all this type of stuff. And how many complaints you hear about Walmart and how they treat their people. So it was right to get their attention on this right here
Yeah.
because in Arkansas, they have a lot of political capital. They always at the state capitol during the legislative sessions. And so if they don't want to listen to the people, shut them down.
Yeah.
Right. And I think
Exactly.
the other part to that is if you don't want to listen to the people, like you say, shut them down. But people like Don who feel their purpose is to make you listen, is to agitate the system and to awaken your consciousness. That's the problem. Consciously, we're just moving down the line. So we owe Don a level of gratitude again for saying, hold on, wait a minute. What about the black folks? What about the young black boys that's out here going through? What about us? So again, a level of gratitude to you for that, Sister Warrior Princess Dawn.
I like that. You make it have a nice ring.
I
to
know,
it.
it's my responsibility. I owe you that after getting kicked off Facebook.
We're friends again, everybody. I added him.
I'm sure you'll kick me off again.
I don't know. I'll hang with you.
Hey, so let me ask you a question. What now?
The work continues. I feel like we're gonna get back. Little Rock Freedom Fund is going to be doing what Osiris helped keep going. What my vision has always been to uplift, educate, and empower and liberate the people. We're gonna get back into doing community events. Help people know about legislation that's gonna be coming up. I know in March we plan on doing another event for Breonna Taylor. We're gonna keep that going since the mayor declared it today. So we're gonna keep that going, but we're gonna keep working in the community.
Well,
That's all we can do.
I'll say this on my own accord for Baker Boys Barbecue. Hey, we pulling up.
Hey,
Hey, we got a grill. We got a commercial grill.
okay,
I know a few guys with some grills. We pulling up. So
okay.
count me in.
People love food. They come when they hear food.
Yeah.
That brings a few more people out.
I tell people all the time, when you mix the medicine with the food, I'm a dog lover. So when I need my dog to eat some medicine, I put that food in the hot dog, put that medicine in the hot dog. And sometimes we have to do that. We have to encourage people to pay attention. And unfortunately, they don't realize what we're trying. The medicine is good for you anyway without the food. But unfortunately, people be hungry.
Yeah.
For real.
For real
So
though.
if I know I can come get some food,
Yeah.
I'm going to really come get the food. But I don't care about you eating.
Yeah.
I care about you getting this medicine. So if I have to be the food and you can be the medicine, there we go.
I appreciate that.
See, you put the potatoes in the bowl,
Yeah.
and I put the meat on the bowl.
Okay.
And now what they got? A good old sandwich.
They'll tide you over like they used to say.
that tied you over. So what is Little Rock Freedom Fund for those who don't know?
Well, Little Rock Freedom Fund, we started it in 2020 when the protests were going on. We initially started it as just a way to bail support to connect people to legal defense. We've since moved to doing more community engagement work. So when I said those 4 pillars, those are my 4 pillars: uplift, educate, empower, and liberate the people. So those are our 4 pillars. But we're diving into a lot more community work. I want to do like a lot more around mental health awareness, and for education is well, it's surrounding around politics and the legislation as the what we can, the cans and the can'ts of what we can do. Because a lot of times people don't realize that our rights are being stripped away, what we can't do.
How are they, in your opinion, Don? And how are they stripping our rights away? How?
I say through bills. Osiris, what do you say on that? You more into the legislation than I am.
I mean, they're taking our power away every day, you know what I'm saying, during the legislative session if they file a bill that is not about the plight of everyday people. So when they do things like, you know what I'm saying, suppress our voting rights, you know what I'm saying, that's one way that they do it. When they go back and change policies to that affect recidivism and have people going back from formerly incarcerated individuals going back into that system and not being able to be out here in the community. That's how they taking away our rights. You know what I'm saying? When they are making bills that are hurting our environment and doing it so that they can have capitalistic gains for just a few of the elite. When they're giving tax breaks to the rich and nothing to the people who are working class or the poor people. That's how they take our rights away, you know what I'm saying? And so you got to look at it like the legislative session. When we start talking about the legislative session, we joined Citizens First Congress. Let me say that first, so people don't get it twisted, because people will try to check you. We are a nonprofit, but we're only able to advocate because we got with a C4 to do that advocacy work. And so when we go to the legislative session and we listen to what they're filing, and we know that this is going to hurt people and help people, we're going to bring back that information so that we can go up there, testify, and tell people, hey, support this, or, you know, fight against that. And so that's why we don't talk about the presidential election, because our politics in our state, our locals and state politics, matter more than anything, because that affects our lives. And so we just want to be a liaison and a voice for the people.
And I think so many of us, Don, don't think voting is important. And I think that's a major issue in our community. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think it's a mix between some of us don't think it's important and a lot of us can't vote.
Mm-hmm. And I think they revel in the fact that we don't know the difference and that we don't. What do you think about that? When I say they revel in the fact, meaning that they're happy, it makes their job easier to suppress. It makes their job easier to make our lives more challenging and difficult by us not knowing the difference in whether we can vote and not voting. I mean, because we have some people who feel like we should just release ourselves from the system. But is that even feasible?
I think at some point it will be. I believe in it. I also believe in doing what we have to do in the meantime. In between time. But I feel like I want to be released from this system, because I feel like it's a lot of fighting and a lot of tussling. And not saying that I'm not fighting and tussling, because that's what I've been doing. I've been fighting and I've been tussling. But at what point do we say, like, hey, we're going to back away from this system, and then imagining what backing away from the system actually looks like?
What do you think it looks like?
I eventually want to break all ties with the United States. As far I'm just being honest. What is it? What is Queen Afua call it? Turtle Island?
Out of here.
Out of here.
Just gone.
I'm trying to be gone, man. At some point, I'm just it's a lot. You look back and you keep looking back over the generation after generation after generation, and you be like, okay, we taking an inch. And that's always my problem. That's why people a lot of times misunderstand me, and it's because I'm tired of the little bites. Like you said, people out here hungry, and I'm hungry. I want me a plate.
Change is, for me, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
The utopia of let's just move to Turtle Island. Forget it. Let's just forget it. But for me, I think about in the meantime. If Nathaniel wanted to just get up and leave, Nathaniel could. But what about my little brothers? What about my nephews? What about all these other people? If I wanted to leave and just be out of it, so that's my hang up for it. Like, somebody's grandma gonna get left.
Yeah.
And somebody will say, well, that's just a casualty of war. Now, where you leave your grandma in? You leave your niece.
Yeah.
If you can commit to leaving your folks, I commit to it. So many people say, let's just break up away from the system. Are you going to leave your grandma? You want somebody else to leave? Don't ask for somebody else to do what you're not willing to do. So in the meantime, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
And then even if we all just said, let's just divorce from the system, if we can't agree to even just do the simple things together, how we going to go live on Turtle Island together? I don't want to be your neighbor here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why we trying to get people to love their neighbor, man. For real, like getting to know, like the community engagement. Like when I was doing the community cleanups, the goal was to get people to know your neighbor, to get people to come out and meet people that you haven't met before. Because when you start meeting people and start caring a little more about them, you start looking out for them. Just, hey, do you need something? Do you need me to mow your lawn? Because there's some elders in the community. Hey, can I mow your lawn? Do you need me to help you carry those groceries in, sister or brother? What can I do for you? What do you need? So that's where the process starts. We have to start caring for each other, and that's in the meantime. Like you say, when we get to that point. And another thing is everybody can't go, and everybody won't be willing to go. So those that are willing to go, that's who you start with.
Harriet couldn't save everybody. She couldn't. Her own sisters was like, bye. It's all right. It ain't that bad here to me. Master was doing, I don't know what Master was doing to her. He was doing something.
That's the reality today. A lot of people are getting paid by whatever resources, and you like, well, shit, I'm living good. I'm looking around myself, my family good, we straight.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about all this other stuff going on.
So y'all struggling over, just take it home and make it look a little plain. Oh, y'all going through over there off in the Southwest, but I'm over here in Bryan straight.
Yeah.
I'm over here in Bryan living good, dog. Who cares if they call my son whatever, a little nigga boy? Who cares? What y'all got going on over there in Southwest Little Rock or over there by Central on Booker? That ain't my problem. I'm over here in Bryan. Who
Right.
cares if everybody vote for Trump? Who cares if I better be in the house by sundown?
Until you get that phone call that disrupt your whole piece.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? And that we didn't see it happen before. It be folks that feel like that all the time. And then it come to your doorstep.
Yeah.
Something happened to your son, your daughter, or something happened to you.
yeah.
And you've been living good. You've been living like, you know what I'm saying, like, I ain't got to carry in the world. You've been on some individuality type of success and happiness. And then it come to your doorstep. Because when you black, all you need is that you're going to get a reminder at some point.
Something I battle with is people who, like in Fayetteville, bye. You know what's up there, right? You know what's up there. So when you run your butt up there, whether it's for money or you want to lead the bluff or whatever, okay, don't come back. And I think that's a problem we have in our community too.
Yeah, I know. I know a couple of brothers and sisters that are staying down there, freedom fighters. They're down there struggling too. They're down there fighting the fight, having to live in it daily.
Yeah.
You know, especially that's where Walmart originated.
Yeah.
So a lot of times Walmart has their, like Osiris said, they have their hands in so much, and you say the wrong thing, like it's trick bag money. I call it trick bag money a lot of times. Like you gonna get that money, but you say the wrong thing or you go against what they don't believe in, and then you cut off. You out of a job or whatever you have it. That funding might get cut short wherever it may be.
It's finna get tough.
It's getting tough.
Don, what do you want to say to the people? I want to give you a moment to speak to the people. What? If that's what you want to say, that's what you want to say.
No. I just want to encourage people to start coming together. It doesn't have to be centered behind me, but it's behind the purpose. The purpose is for our kids, and I'm glad to be home. I'm ready to get back to work. Everybody says take your time. I'm trying to take my time, but it's the constant fact that is work out here that needs to be done. I support the people. I love the people. I just want y'all to know that I really do love the people. I love you. I love you.
Oh, I thought you
love
were saying
you.
you love me.
I love
She
you.
said you first.
I love you. I said you first.
Well, you don't say nobody else after me. I'm a jealous person.
Okay. I love you.
That's it. Don't.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm jealous. Just say you love Nate. Can you say
Nobody.
add to Nate?
I love you, Nate. Nobody else.
Hey, I ain't mad at it. This is what I want you to do too, Don. Before we came on, we were talking about the Little Rock Freedom Fund and getting funding and building capital for the Little Rock Freedom Fund. Give us some ways that we can help with that.
We have Cash App. We have Venmo. You can follow the Little Rock Freedom Fund page. You can visit our website, lrfreedomfund.com. What's the Cash App?
LR Freedom Fund.
Okay. And I think on the Venmo, you just go to Little Rock Freedom Fund and you can find us on Venmo as well. Those are ways to support and know that we are, whenever we get funding, we're doing work for the community. We're still trying to do these bailouts. I know for Juneteenth this year, I want to go back to doing the bailout. We had to miss this previous year that I was incarcerated, but I want to go back to doing the bailout, the Liberation Day bailout, because there's so many people incarcerated that just can't afford to get out. So we're working towards that. We're working towards a lot of great things in the community, but it's like, with us originating as grassroots, I say we originally started, the people were the ones that donated. The people have to keep donating and have to see, that's where, even if you're not in the streets, most people got a little change they could give, especially those people living in Bryan. Like you said, you're not worried about the other problems, but you got a little $5 you can kick. We'll take $1. You can start with $1, but we're just working towards that, and know that you're helping build up your community with every dollar. If you can't give $1, give us a share, give us a follow. Just do something. Shout out the Little Rock Freedom Fund. And
Where can they find it at? Where can they find the Little Rock Freedom Fund at?
Little Rock Freedom Fund is on Facebook.
And what's the name on Facebook?
Little Rock Freedom Fund.
So they need to follow you. If somebody could in the comments, can you tag Little Rock Freedom Fund in these comments for somebody, please? Cyrus, before you got anything, man?
Nah, I'm saying, thanks for supporting Dawn. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, and support the Little Rock Freedom Fund. We're gonna have a day to give next week during Kwanzaa. Every year we do a Kwanzaa celebration with a group of us that we support a good cause, and we've been doing it for years. We've supported artists, we've supported educators, we supported youth, and so this year the cause for the Kwanzaa Give Back, we even did a direct action Give Back a few years ago with Dawn was leading on. So this year we're gonna donate our Kwanzaa funds to the Little Rock Freedom Fund. So holler at us if you want to make a donation. Find me online, find Dawn, or just hit that Cash App. And just know that 2023, the money is going to help build our community and to further the mission that Dawn set down and laid the foundation for. I got to say this real quick, because I talked about it last week when I was out of town. I said one of the biggest things I took away from this lesson with Dawn being gone for 18 months is I seen how the government will try to shut down the movement by targeting the leaders. And we've seen historically how it plays out. When the leaders, are silenced or incarcerated or are forced to flee the country, a lot of times their movements fall apart. I feel like the lesson I learned from it was me and Dawn stayed in contact the whole time. Everything that she wanted to do, I tried my best to do it.
You did great.
And so we got stronger in the sense of we didn't want to bring no negative attention to Dawn. We kept it positive. We kept on bailing out people. And so when she came home, we still here thriving and doing, well, I ain't going to say thriving. We making it. But we plan on thriving and moving forward. And so when your loved ones go away, continue to talk to them, communicate, support them. I think every message that I sent to her, I try to tell her I love her. And just because, you know what I'm saying, I needed her to get those reminders. And so don't forget about your people. Don't let your movements die. Continue to carry on the tradition, carry the baton, pass the baton. Keep it strong, man, and you know what I'm saying, stay united. You know, so that's all I can say.
I think that's powerful, man. Don, I am so grateful for you coming on, sharing your story with us on the Real Underground radio station. I want to say this, and I was going to wait to say it off air, but one thing I will say is you spoke about mental health in our community, right?
Right.
There is funding available for that. That helps increase capacity to do and to further the reach and the work. So there is a lot of funding for that. So if you know any grant writers, share this with the grant writer, and they can go after some of those grants and opportunities, because in the Black and brown community, mental health is ignored a lot. And there is funding for us to increase capacity. Now, I do understand the concept behind grants. Sometimes you take some folk money, they want you to move to they jump, to they bill, and we don't want to do that.
Right.
But we do want to be able to say, hey, we want to help use our platform to increase the mental health of our community. So
Right.
I'll leave you with that. And I got your back, and I have some resources available for that.
I appreciate you.
Also, I will say, anytime you need Nate Logic, the hashtag, the show, you got it. Say less.
I appreciate you.
Just put a pigeon in it. I got you.
Beep beep.
Hey, and I'll say the same for the Real Underground radio station as well. Anytime you need us, we're there. We are a voice of the community. We directly in the streets. We is in the streets. Real talk. So anything that I personally can do, the Real Underground, Nate Logic, I even say the A7 Show.
Right.
We got your back 100%. Can I say that, Iceman? Yeah, he's silently shaking his head.
Appreciate you guys, man.
I didn't know who he was. Brother,
You got a toothache too? I got one too. I'm gonna go pull this joker out.
Those help with that. The little coat. Oh, okay.
I got one too. Hey man, this your boy Big Nate with the Real Underground radio station. This Ashley, I'm sorry.
come on, Ashley, the powerful queen.
I need to say something.
Yes.
The only thing I have to say is, once again, give to the Little Rock Freedom Fund. It really does become a resource for the community, whether it's your cousin need help for cash bail, whether you need help for cash bail, you need connection to legal support. So give to Little Rock Freedom Fund is really a resource for the community. Also, I'm happy my sister is home. So
And free MJ. I wanted
And
to
free-
say that.
yeah,
free
free
Majera
MJ, for sure.
Lagonho. He's actually incarcerated. He was he's one of my co-defendants, and I just believe everyone should be given another chance, because what happened was property can be replaced. People's lives can't. And if anything,
Yeah.
restitution can be made. The property was probably replaced as soon as it happened,
Right.
because the city has money to do that.
people over property.
So free Majera.
Well, I
Free getting sued.
got a gift for you from my brother Mike Parker. Watch for the hook.
Okay.
And it says, so y'all tap in with my brother, watch for the hook. He wanted to give this to you.
Okay.
And it says, think about things differently.
Okay.
And so it's a dope shirt.
I appreciate you.
Hey, man, I am so grateful for you, Don. I really appreciate you. I much love for you, baby. Again, if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Hey, hold on, no, Don, before you go. I got to do something real quick.
Okay.
Wait a minute, baby. Wait a minute, baby. Hey, wait a minute, baby. We got the 870 show coming up, baby. I know you didn't think we was going to let y'all get away without talking our talk for the end of the year, baby. Iceman, we got something to say. I think we're going to do our wrap up for the end of the year. We not doing the wrap up? That's next. Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. All right. This it's your boy Big Day with the Real Underground Radio Station. Baby, this is Nate Logic, baby.